live here in the garden, doing our thing. It is, let's say, the 16th, April 16th here in northern Michigan, and we are working our way through kind of last few days of cold. I've got stuff we're going to be putting in. I've already got lettuce. We'll show you what kind of got in here already. It's been in for a week. It's been through a couple of cold snaps, so it's hardened off definitely. But we're going to be working on getting some of my brassicas, Swiss chard. It's time for it to go in. Like tonight, we're supposed to drop down to like 30. Again, it'll be fine. It's not gonna bother it too much. It's established at least there. It's been in the greenhouse, getting to low temperature. So, oh yeah. So well, that's what we got for today. Should be a relatively chill stream. I've got my broad fork out, so we're gonna be working on that as far as doing some work here, getting the ground set up, getting my rows going, and then going from there. So again, if you haven't ever been with us before, my name is Ryan. I am a business coach who works out of West Michigan and around the country, and I come here live on YouTube basically when I'm not working with my clients or working on my business, to come here and work on my garden here in the spring, the summer, and then into the fall. And then we take a couple months off and we get right back into it. So I'm going to find best spot to be doing this here right now. I got to clear this area first and then we'll be there. So we're going to start off with the broad fork like we normally do here. Be working with this just to, again, loosen up the soil a little bit. I've got, and to help with compaction. Don't worry, ladies, I got my chickens right over here. So they're waiting for worms. That's kind of what they know what's going on here. When they see me out here, they know it's time to get their worm on. So with what we've got here, and you can see behind me, there's some green. I've already got some in the ground here. I got some black seeded Simpson. We've got some got some butter lettuce, like a Boston butter. And then we also have what is that stuff called? Oh, the mesclun mix, right? The salad mix, along with my spinach. So again, this stuff that's up right now, this is all for the chickens. Like, it's just go to my girls, keep them fed, keep them happy. So we're just going to get in here and I'm going to start getting this stuff going. So if you've never seen a broad fork before, that's what one looks like. It's meant to loosen up the soil so you can work in it and get it worked. And for me, where I'm at, the biggest thing that I'm worried about right now is compaction. It's the biggest piece that I have in my garden. It's always just making sure the compaction is under control and not an issue. I know, girls, trust me, when I see some worms, I got my chickens just over here. They are excited for me whenever they see me in the garden because they know it's worm time. But we're going to be going through it and loosening up the soil. Let me turn this down a little bit. You guys probably, for many folks, have never actually seen like broad forking in action before. So we do a little bit of live show and tell here. So the idea here is not to turn over the soil. What you want to do is get in, and we're just lifting it up. Like, that's the idea. We're just lifting it up to loosen it up and let it back down, because what we want is to fight compaction. We want to make sure this is nice and loose, so that way water and air can get down here, because what we want is the aerobic bacteria that's in here. It needs air, and if you have compaction, air can't get down there, and you also can't get your water down there. Now, the other piece here is that, I've got some weeds that have started up here, and I don't mind weeds after my seeds, after everything's got established, but going ahead of time, definitely not. But in this case, I also have some crabgrass that's set up in here, so we just want to get that out of there. Don't worry, ladies, I know they're so excited for worms right now, my chickens. Here's a good one for you. Put on the chicken cam for you guys so you can see them going crazy over here, or this little guy right here. Here we go. Here you go, guys. This is what you're waiting on. There you go. Right to it, and there you go. So that's the idea. Anyways, we're going to be working on this, so I've kind of gotten that loosened up now, so I'm just going to work my way backwards here. Just kind of do the thing here. Again, just work my way back. So Again, I appreciate everybody who's hopping on. If you haven't been here before, say hi. Let me know where you're at. If you have been here before, also say hi. It's good to just catch up with folks. But I just need to get this loosened up. I only have a few things here, a couple trays. Probably bring these closer into frame for everybody so you can kind of see them there. Just got a couple things that we got to get, so. But this is the part of gardening that a lot of folks, they don't look forward to or don't like, but this is hands down some of my favorite stuff. Just getting in, just doing a little work, turning over the soil. The other stuff that we're going to have going on here is as you can see, there's two different layer colors in here. So I have compost over this section here. There's going to be more compost going over here, and I got more heading over this direction. So, oh, hey Red, what's happening? Hey, did you see my note about the subscribe signs? I need to get some ordered that are backwards, right? So they're mirrored. So it'll say subscribe here. We want to have that. So maybe go on eBay or see if you can order something, see up for me. That would be great. Okay. I gotta go through here, get this stuff here. I know, girls. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. We got our last night of freezing temps, so tomorrow, at least freezing temps for a while. So tomorrow, before I pick you up, I'm gonna get the rest of our chickens, get them out here in the coop. So I have six girls running around in here, which would be great. Here you go, guys. Got another one for you. I'm gonna open this lid up. Easier. Just toss them in there. So we are, like I said, just getting rid of some of this crabgrass before I get the transplants going. Oh, I accidentally got one of my wild onions that grow here. So good. They're everywhere, so it's not the end of the world. They pop up all over. They're pretty natural. Okay, not trying to get all my worms over to my chickens, but whenever I see some, toss them over, give them a little extra bit. Help them get big, you know what I mean? We want them to start producing. So it is about 50 degrees out right now. So for northern Michigan, it's a relative heat wave this time of year. So we will take it. So I want to get out here and kind of take advantage of it when I can. We are just making our way through here. I spent the day with clients. I was on Lake Michigan. They've got their property that overlooks Lake Michigan, so the entire day was just great. Looking over. Oh, and Red, Karen says hi. Karen, my client, not the other Karen. Yeah. So here's something for y'all if you haven't seen this before. So I normally leave dandelions in, but we're going to take these guys out right now. So you see these roots. This is why we like we don't necessarily have a problem with dandelions early in the year. One, they are breaking up the soil, which is great, but these big roots, what they're doing is they're pulling calcium and calcium and other minerals up, and they store them in the leaves. So when these die off, they're putting the minerals back into the soil at the top there. So that's one of the ones where you just want to, they're not terrible, but they are invasive for North America, but this time of year, I don't want really anybody growing in here yet. Once we get going, everybody's established. I couldn't care less what we have for weeds in here. All they do is help the soil health. All right, a few more things. Yeah, and I'm still finding leftover pumpkin seeds from last year. I had some random pumpkins just show up in the garden. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing pumpkins here. Now, let me see, is there anybody else that looks like crabgrass? I do. Get you out. Oh, You go, girls. Did it not make it in there? Oh, lucky worm. Avoided them. Cool. There you go. Last bits here. Okay. There's that good stuff there. So I'm just gonna hit this one more time, and now we're gonna work on this next section. We're gonna hoe this out afterwards. So we have a little bit of a hoe down here. Let's get this over here. So not completely all up in your faces while I'm doing this. All right, we got a lot of trucks going by, a lot of activity. I wonder what's going on down the street. I'm sure I'll hear about it from my mom. She tends to be a bit of a nosy parker. Keeps everybody kind of up to speed on stuff. So, but yeah, it's gonna be nice. Honestly, it'd be nice to get my chickens out here, have them all out here, living their best lives. They're just having a field day over there right now. It is just nice to be out in the sun. My goodness. It is just so nice to be out in the sun. We had, and Red, she's in the chat. She will attest to it. We had a very dark, very cold, and very gloomy winter this year. It was it did not spark joy. We'll put it that way. To bring something from a few years ago was not enjoyable. But so again, you guys will see I'm not turning the soil over. We're just lifting it up, helping it break up a little bit, and that's going to help the roots as they are doing their thing. Yeah, right about here. There you go. Drop it right there. It's going to help the roots for the plants as I transplant them set up. So it also helps getting these guys out as well. You can see that pretty much that entire root up in one shot. Yeah. See how the chickens like dandelion leaves. I know I like them in salad, so I'm sure they'll enjoy them. So far, so good. Yeah, today was one of those weird days too. Just non-garden stuff, man. I woke up just feeling like garbage today. I don't know what it was, but I just did not feel good. Feeling better now though. Still just kind of dragging a little bit. But we're working on that. So let's talk about what we're going to be putting in today. I'm gonna have you guys come down and join me. So we have, and this is all started from seed in the greenhouse. We did this live a few months ago, got this started. So we got some broccoli, we got some Swiss chard, we have some cauliflower over here, cauliflower, and then we have some, I'm trying to think here, what else we got here? Brussels sprouts in here in this mix. Kind of all over. It's okay. We want to see what kind of growth we get before the season gets rolling. I'm getting ahead of myself. I always get ahead of myself when I do this stuff. Well, the chickens enjoy the dandelions, so that's good. That's good to know. I gotta get my rows set up. So I kind of want to just have these guys set up a little bit. We have some drainage issues on this side. So we are just kind of building up our rows here. I mean, we got to make it look somewhat professional around here, right? I mean, oh, got my pup Bonnie saying hi in her way by being loud and obnoxious. Okay, and we're just trying to get the rows up here And again, this is simply just to help with water. Water and airflow are the two main things that you're doing this for. Again, it's going to help airflow cut through. That's why you do the rows in general, for airflow, but also why you want to build up your rows as well, your mounds. Not every plant needs it, but it's also dependent on where, what's going on. Like I said, we got water drainage issues on this side. I always say it's a little swampy over here. Nothing crazy, but enough that I want to make sure that they are up. Again, this is just our first set. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to make sure I'm going to need to leave some room over here. You guys can probably imagine. Let's see here, right about there. Gonna need to leave some room for me to walk around with the chickens and stuff like that. So we're gonna maximize our space that we can use here as much as we can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Want to maximize it, but still got to be able to maneuver around there safely. Don't want to be stepping all over the plants that we just put in the ground. Want to keep them safe. I know, guys. I'm looking for worms. Just relax back there. They're getting all antsy on me. So again, if you haven't subscribed yet, hopefully I earn your subscription. I come here live pretty consistently throughout the late winter, spring, summer into fall, out here in the garden just doing stuff. I mean, for me personally, I think it's worth your time, mainly just because you get to laugh at me as I'm making all the mistakes. I think that's one of the things we have the most fun with, is what's Ryan going to screw up this time? But the great thing about that is that, even if we are making mistakes here, it's the garden, right? It's okay. This place we're supposed to be able to chill out some. All right. So let's get our first one in here. What do you guys say we start with some of the Swiss chard here? Look at that stuff. How great is that? This has just been popping out, so we love that. And you can see even the roots have a red tinge to them. And so this is the thing, also let you know, like, this has been in here just about as long as it can. Do you see how the roots are circling around? I'm trying to get this so you can see it. They're circling around. They're not like straight up and down. So that means this thing is getting root bound, and that's no good. So we're gonna help it kind of spread its roots out a little bit. Get it in here. Let it be awesome. There we go. So we're gonna do 2 Swiss chards on the end here. One here, one on the spot over here. So again, and again, these were all started in the greenhouse, gosh, about a month ago, give or take. Might even been a little bit, actually a little bit before then. It's almost been a month and a half where we got them started. Oh, snack time. All right. So again, just taking a look at the roots that we have here. So they're doing their thing. Okay, now this is not a potting. This isn't a potting mix. This is a this isn't a seed starter. This is a potting mix mixed with coconut husk. I mix it up myself. It seems to be working really good for these guys. So we love that. More of that, the better. Okay. And what we're doing is we're putting basically about a foot between everybody. We're just kind of measuring off, roughly a little bit more than this to get my distances here. And again, that's just for this. Now these are going to be in the soil for, the Swiss chard are probably going to be good for till about, I'd say, end of June. It's going to get too hot for them then. They're going to bolt and I'll be collecting seeds off of them. But so yeah, here again, we don't want to see this on our plants. It's okay. I mean, it's okay because we're catching it early enough, but you want to, when you're doing that, just help them out a little bit and rough them up so they can go and get some fresh nutrients, get out there and do their thing. Okay. Same thing here. These don't look too, again, they're not bad, they're not good either, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to help them out a little bit. Let's get this guy in. Now, what you're looking for, it should not be a struggle to get your trowel into the ground. It should just pop right in there. All right, KK, that's what I'm talking about. This stuff is all good in here. But it should not be any, it shouldn't be an issue. Like, you should just be able to do this without any stress whatsoever. That's what you want to be able to do. Again, because you don't want any compaction, and that's why we had the broad fork out earlier. The roots are going to get in here. They're just going to be able to spread and be happy and all the things. You know, I'm going to grab these two next. I got another Swiss chard. You can see this one's definitely doing that. And then I've got actually a lettuce variety in there that was a miss. Actually, you know, I do know what this is now that I'm looking at it. So, oh, this is romaine. So this is romaine lettuce before it gets its crap together. So we have some romaine in here just cause, like I said, this is only going to be for till about June or so. So these guys are just in for the short haul. Doesn't really matter where they are. I just want stuff in the ground. That's the biggest thing. We want stuff in the ground to feed the microbes, to keep our soil biome kicking. Okay, gotta move it up a little bit. A little too close on that guy. A little too close. Oop. Get that out of there. Right here. There we go. Cool. Doing good, doing good. Man, I'm just loving this weather right now. I mean, I was inside working today, and you know, all of us, we were just kind of staring at it like, man, we do not want to be inside doing like adult stuff right now. We want to be like out, you know, we were on Lake Michigan just to be out there. Of course, as soon as we walked out there, you know, the lake is like 50 degrees, 45 degrees, cold wind blowing on us. We're like, oh, no, back inside. But it was still nice to be able to do that. All right. So, kind of show you what I'm up against here also with my soil here, folks. So, this is what my typical topsoil looks like. I don't know if you can see just how sandy and clay and brown that is. There isn't a lot of organic matter in that. So I'm working on building out to this. And this is some stuff I've had worked on it for at this point in this time. Nice, dark, rich, all sorts of organic matter. That's what you want in your soil, because that is what the microbes need in order to thrive and provide nutrients back to the plants. But, you know, guys, you just missed out on some worms there. They're busy fighting over those dandelions that I put over there earlier. So let's get this Swiss chard in. And you can see what difference, you know, just being in a different spot in the greenhouse did for the Swiss chard. It's a lot smaller. And it's saying the root development is nowhere near to the same level, which is fine. Once they get out here, they do a lot better anyways. They're like, you know, the greenhouse is great, but being out here in the fresh sunlight and having, you know, nature doing this thing is always better. What's up, guys? Oh, you guys just chilling. Okay, they're taking naps now. I guess they got enough to eat. Okay, so again, we're just continuing on with our brassicas. So we got some broccoli going in. And like I said, this is just to get us into the, you know, early summer. Then we're gonna plant, you know, I'm gonna basically put some quick stuff in to get us through, you know, just some lettuce just to have it in the ground. I don't care if it bolts or not. And then in August we'll get our next rounds of Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli. Actually, we're gonna do a lot of Brussels sprouts. I don't know about you, Red, but I love being able to just come out here and just get the fresh Brussels sprouts when they're ready to go. It's pretty nice. All right, put this over here just a little bit more. What do you, oh, okay, so this also, gonna just move this. This is another piece that I want you guys to keep in mind. Whenever you're growing your plants, don't, you know, just cut them off when they're done and let the roots just kind of decompose. It's great for your soil. Gives a nice little spot for the bacteria. This is corn from like 2 years ago. So I'm gonna get that back in here. Just move it off to the side. There's an entire ecosystem built up around that corn root over the last couple years that we want to take advantage of. So again, same thing here. When I talk about those roots, folks, we just want to gently loosen them up a little bit. Give it a little bit of a head start when it gets going. Yeah, so doing good here. Just need our last two. Last two here. Again, just a couple more brassicas. Nothing to write home about. But our compost is doing well. So we'll be able to get some compost out here in the next month or so, which is going to help everybody. I do a top dressing of compost for my garden. It helps with you know, weed control, but also it's also leaf mold. So you end up with this stuff right here, which you can see that in the leaves here. Get all that stuff going. Lots of goodness. It smells like the forest. All the sorts of yumminess that you want. Breaking down and feeding the microbes for you. Makes everything better. You guys napping again? You know, I read these chickens are just as bad as the dogs. They get moving for a second, then it's back to taking a nap. It's the life, though. Short as it is, let them enjoy it. Ooh. There we go. All right, we got our last one here going in. This is a cauliflower. All right. No, nope, this is not a cauliflower. This is a Brussels sprout. There we go. So we got Brussels, broccoli, cauliflower. Okay. All right. Cauliflower. Cool. All right. So, you guys okay over there? Okay. They're just being silly. And of course, Honey, our one chicken, Honey, is the one that's got the best attitude over here. Gonna be attitude. All right, so I've got another 5, got 11 more to get in the ground. So that's gonna get us to here. So we're gonna just move you guys a little closer. Yeah, they're lazy. Yeah, they are definitely lazy. That's for damn sure. Hey, so here's one for you folks. I got a notification from YouTube today. I have done 650 videos at this point, including shorts and lives and other stuff. So 650. And I've got 850 subscribers, so that's I average 1.1 subscriber per video. I mean, public school math and all, I don't think that's good, but I appreciate every subscriber that I get. So, all right. So again, we're doing the same thing here. I'm just going to bring this back here. I've got more stuff that needs to come out in the next couple months. So part of this is just, I'm kind of getting in front of this. Thank you for the great job. I appreciate that, Red. Just trying to make you, KK, and Lexi proud. Hey, what time do you get in tomorrow? Just curious. It's in the evening, right? Like 7:30 or something? All right, so that's 1, 2. Just do this whole thing. There you go. That's great. I love seeing this. Just how this loosens all up and everything. That is so good. Because the soil, like directly underneath this. Oh, thanks, KK. Doing my part. So, but this is so good. And if you guys can see, I'm not having to do a lot of work to like get this down. It's going directly in there, and that's what we want. Nice and loose. It's got plenty of organic matter in it, doing its thing. So that's great. Love it. Like I was saying, this year we've got 7 p.m. Okay, I'll be there at 10. So just make yourself comfortable. Just kidding. All right. So now this is year 3 with the garden. It's April. So this time 3 years ago, I was out here in like rain. So what do you guys need like a dust bath? Oh, I'm looking at the chicks. They're just down there just kind of being weird. Okay. Anyways, rain, cloudy, just gross, building this entire garden out. It's 25 by 50 this direction. Getting all the posts in and doing that. Well, not being able to make very much progress because not only were we was I putting in a garden in our small little town, we were the first house that had actually been built in this town in, I don't know, probably 15 years. So we had everybody coming by, being nosy, which is fine, being neighborly, but they all were asking a million questions trying to figure out what we were doing. What's going on there? How are you securing all of those posts? You really should consider using cement on all of those there. Well, you sure you have that direction correct? All the good stuff, just trying to be out there to be helpful in their way. And I didn't listen to a single one of them. I did it exactly how I wanted it. Because I didn't secure any of these down, because as a collection, they'll be fine, hold each other up. But if I did want to expand this or move this, make adjustments, I was not going to be lifting cement out of the ground. That was not going to be an option. So, there we go. Let's check out this. Let's give this guy a look, a once over. I got a big old dandelion in here. I think it's going to be like carrot sized. Oop, get back down there, you. Get down there. Let's see. All right, let's see. Oh, he's right in the middle of some stuff. Let's see. Well, this guy out of here, though. So let's see. Let's do the big reveal on this dandelion root here. And again, I don't like to take them out, but like I said, I got to get them out now layer they can grow in. But this is why we always want to leave as much of the root in there as we can, because look at how they're doing with the soil here. We got all those microbes living in there. Home for all these worms to do their thing. But again, this root down here is going to get minerals from deep, deep, deep and bring them back up to the soil. That's what dandelions do. So most of your weeds do. That's why they're not necessarily a terrible thing. They'll tell you what these weeds will tell you what you need to add to your soil. So on the top part here, I can tell you we definitely need calcium. But it's getting worked back in with the compost that I add, so I'm not really too worried about amendments. I'm going to get soil tests done at the end of the year to see where we're at after this year of composting and everything. But yeah, we're doing pretty good here. I got most of the crabgrass out last year, and you know, it is what it is. It's not the worst. It's terrible once you have it in. It's I'm going to be doing this every year just because I got a big old open field over here where every type of weed on the planet is growing. So I'm always going to have seeds blown over. I already took care of the garden or the yard with the treatment to block it as much as I can, but that's just known that's not going to be the case. We're going to have some stuff here. Okay, so I think we're all good there. Get that guy down there. The worm he's holding on. He's trying. There we go. There we go. The worm for the chicks there. Where is my hoe at? Where's my hoe at? Here it is. All right. There we go. So same thing here. We are just gonna work on building up the rows here. Which is this guy. Oh, that's so good. Again, I love the fresh onion and garlic to it. Onion that we have grow because it's got garlic in it as well. So good. Probably gonna cook saute some of them up with my steak tonight before the redhead gets home, and we have to go back to chicken a la chicken again. As a joke. Easy, Red, just joking. So I'm not joking about the steak though. Me and the pups, we decided on steak. All right. Oh man. So yeah, you can just see where I've got my compost. Just look how good this stuff looks. Yeah, this is from last year's garden. This stuff just so good. Don't shake your head, Red. And then I've got another bit of crabgrass hanging out here. Let's get that rhizome out. I am getting a nice collection of crabgrass rhizome, I can say that much. Definitely get a nice collection here. Here we go. All right, let's get this last bit here. And again, this is simply just for water and air management, like we were saying earlier on the stream, folks. This is just so the water's got a place to channel and kind of give our plants up a little bit off the ground to help them get oxygen. And, and the CO2. Spinach is doing good. Man, everything is doing really nice over here. It makes me happy. Tell you, the chickens are going to be ecstatic when the band's back together. Tell you that much. Okay, so this is kale. These are little baby kales. Show you this guy here. So you can see we got kale. The leaves kind of have that look to them, and you can tell the different types of brassicas, once they're up, the seeds all look the same by their leaves. But if you see the new leaves that are coming up, they are definitely kale. Kale on those. And kale is good in, you know, limited quantities in salad. It's I did find out you're not supposed to have too much. It does have a lot of copper in it. I guess that's a thing. Don't have too much copper in you. Oh, there's so much clay. Lord, I'm still getting tons of clay broken up here. So again, same thing as we had before. We're gonna have these separated up basically about a foot apart. Nothing too crazy there. And just kind of dig out here. I wonder what we can get for, do we have any clay balls over here? Probably not. Nope, looks good. But another worm snack for the chicks. Yeah, see, you can see again, we're gonna take a look at this we're talking about here. So we just want to help break this up as much as we can. Oh, look, got a little pill bug. A little pill bug doing this thing in there. Hey, friend. Oh, we got more. Got a couple of them. So they're probably all excited, saying, cool, we can get out of this space. Get them in there. What those guys do is do their thing. Okay. There's that one. If you guys are cold, go inside. You guys are so weird. All right. These chickens are still trying to figure out how to chicken. They're not very good at it. They're only 7 weeks old though, so I guess that makes sense. We still got dogs trying to figure out how to dog, so I guess that's just what we are. That's our bird, you know, that's our cross we got to bear, I guess. Animals that don't know how to animal. Okay, same thing. We got some more kale over here. The roots are not as bad. They're pretty good, to be honest. So get this in here. Like I said, tonight is going to be the coldest night for them. I think we're supposed to get down to around like 29 or whatever. Oh, I'll pick on the chickens all I want. I mean, they are some spoiled chickens, so they can take a little harassment. You know, kind of not much more different than you, KK, growing up. You were the way that you were well cared for by me and the redhead. You know, that comes with a little bit of harassment. So, you know, gotta take the good with the bad. Not even the bad, the good with, you know, toughen you up some. I mean, can you imagine you're on a Marine base now? Can you imagine if we hadn't toughened up your skin? What it'd be like for you there? Be folding like a lawn chair, kid. All right. So these have bolted already, which again, they're not going to be worth eating or nothing. He's sensitive. Yeah. So these have bolted already. This, I don't even know what this was, to be honest. Now I'm looking at it. I don't recognize those leaves. This has got to be this. I don't recognize those leaves, but whatever it is bolted. It's already got a flowering going on. So I'm just getting this in the ground, so I have something in the ground. I'm fairly certain whatever this is not going to be something that we're going to be eating or worrying about. So just want to get it buried, get it doing its thing, and helping out the soil. That's the biggest thing, folks, on your gardens. You know, with your plots of soil you have, your garden plots, whatever you have, you got to have something in the ground or have them covered at all times. Like for this case, my garden has compost all over it or wood chips. So Rosario, don't be, hey now, don't be making me sad over here and comparing notes. That's not okay. I mean, good for congratulations, San Antonio. Oh, what's the name of that place that I'd go and get cinnamon, that big old cinnamon roll from? Was it Maria's? I used to get, whenever I'd go to San Antonio to go to teach, I'd come back up to when we lived up in Wichita Falls or Abilene. I'd stop in San Antonio. There's a place, big old like monster. You guys remember it, you guys? Yeah, huge. I think it was Maria's was the name of the cafe. It's down off of Main Street in downtown. It's like literally just like right off the exit. So I used to go get those and bring them back for my classes. Like, hey guys, I brought you a cinnamon roll. They'd be like, a cinnamon roll? They take a look at it and it was just this monstrosity about yay big. Okay. Oh, Okay, now I know what that is. Now I know what this was. Temp in Cali is, wait, what was that say? 68? Yeah, boo. Yeah, we're not there, trust me. Okay, so I do know what this is. So this was a lettuce. This was, oh gosh, what was this? This is black-seeded Simpson, this lettuce. That's what bolted over here. Because this here is romaine. And as an extra bonus, I have a random sunflower seed that dropped in there when I wasn't paying attention. So we're gonna just let that sunflower go for a while, because why not? We're not too worried about, like I said, a lot of the stuff that's going in right now is gonna be just for us snacking on and for feeding the chickens. So I'm not too worried about, you know, end of the day, the quality per se. Oop. So let's get these guys out. And then collectively, they got a nice little root structure here doing good. But yeah, I remember those days living in Texas. I do miss those sometimes. Wichita Falls, not Abilene, just to be clear on that. I don't miss a single second about Abilene, not at all. Woof, that's a rough town. That is a rough town. Wichita Falls, though, I do think I do have fond memories of that place. All right. So we're again just cruising on. Again, everything we're putting in here is some version of a lettuce or a brassica. So they're designed for the cooler temps that you want to have. And then, yeah, so if you were on the stream yesterday, let's save this guy for the end, this little guy. Let's get these big ones in here. Yesterday, we got a whole bunch of tomatoes done. I still got to find those Cleome seeds. I can't remember where I put them. They weren't where I thought they were. But that's, again, par for the course for me. Even in a small space like that, I know I'm gonna mess up where stuff is put where I think it's at, because, well, that's just who I am. All right, making good time here. Making good time. Now this guy here, so again, more of those random sunflower seeds I came across. So we got our plant coming in here looking good, but then I've got 3 sunflowers that decided to drop in there when I wasn't paying attention. I had a whole bunch of sunflower seeds up on one of the shelves, and it dumped into the potting mix when I was putting it together. So that's why we got this. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, we just want stuff growing that isn't corn, or that corn over here. Had corn a couple years in a row here, and corn's got to move this year. So we just want new stuff in, just to kind of keep the biome fresh and not tired out. That's always the big worry, folks. So like I've got 1 year left of tomatoes where they're at, and they've got to move. And then, yeah, everything's just got to be cycling around, which is good. It's good for the soil. We all know that. And it's mainly just for disease control. Like, that's the big one. You know, it's good for the body, you know, because if you have strong soil where over, you don't have as many worries about they tend to take care of themselves. That's what we want. Okay. It's going to be wild going from a packed greenhouse to having it empty in a month again. It's always a weird transition when the greenhouse literally just empties out. It's not terrible or anything. It's just weird. And then, you know, when we hopped in there in February, I was looking around, I'm like, man, this place is going to be packed soon. And lo and behold, we were packed. So now with this, I'm understanding I'm taking a chance by planting these where they're at. There's a good possibility we could have another round of deep freeze. If that's the case, I'll come out here and cover them up with some compost. I've got with some leaves. We'll just come here and I'll spread it out and just cover them up for the evening. You know, give them that little bit of protection. They'll be fine. But, you know, 29, 28 degrees, I'm not worried about. They'll be fine. Perfectly fine with that. That's not going to be an issue. Oop. Another worm there. Look at you guys. See how fluffed up the chickens are. They're like, man, it's cold out here, dude. All right, get our last ones in here. Oop. Get these in. And we're gonna hit everybody with the hose. And we're gonna be good. This last guy's here looking a little rough, but nothing that a little bit of being out in nature here won't fix. They'll righten right up. That's the theory, at least. Okay. So I'll give you guys a kind of a full look at what we're dealing with here. You guys have been just kind of riding around on the periphery a little bit. Let's take a look at the full what we got with the garden again review. If you haven't been here, we did this the other day. So, sorry about that, folks. Hit the wrong button. I'm gonna flip you around. There we go. Okay, so we have got, this has been in for a few days now. We got our lettuces. Like I said, and these are mostly going to be chicken feed. It's stuff for me and Red to munch on. We need some salad stuff, right? I've got my next set of lettuce is already in here, in those areas there. We got spinach here, and then 3 different varieties of lettuce. We got more lettuces over here. Again, you can see really got the different varieties all right next to each other here. So we got some black-seeded Simpson. You can tell this one just by the look there. It's a spice. It's got a peppery taste to it. This is a butter lettuce. You can just see kind of where this is at. See if there's a better version of it over here. Here's a better version. Right here you can see this, like a Boston butter. And then we got some mesclun over here too. This guy's doing really well. We hop over here. Spinach is being all spinachy. It loves this stuff. So we got a few there. And then, we just did this over here on this piece. Got our chickens being chickens over here. And then let's hop in the greenhouse real quick, and then we will, wrap it up here. Like I said, I've just got to get the hose going. Oh, actually, hey, let's go check out the strawberries. I think the strawberries would be good to look on. So I'm excited to get rid of this. I'm sure Red is too, but this, I've got my planters. My planter boxes, they're ordered, they'll be here. So a lot of this is going to be in the base of those to lift them up, right? So, and then the strawberries are up and getting happy here as well. You can just see they're popping. So all of them made it throughout the year. What do you got here? I got a little weed in there. We'll let him do his thing. So they all made it, so they're doing pretty good. So we like that. Actually, since we're here, let's check the temperature. I don't think this fired up like I wanted it to. Oh, it did. It actually got up there. Where are we at? We're at 60. So I'm going to have to wake that up again. That compost pile didn't wake up like I wanted it to. So, all right, last bit here. We'll just take a look at the greenhouse and then let you guys go for the day. So, celery. More celery than you've probably ever seen in your entire life collectively is growing here right now. They won't be there. Again, you can see I've got my sunflowers. They're kind of doing their thing. The bok choy is coming in nicely. So that's great. The beets are going to go out there probably this weekend. We have our flowers started down here. We got marigolds and we got zinnias. Like I said, I got to find the cleomes. I think I know where they are, but I probably don't. Little basil doing its thing there, but I've got Some other basils that we're transplanting right here. They're being all, you know, little wimps right now, but once they get some more water in them, they'll be fine. Cilantro, artichoke is getting big. That's good to see. And then we got the tomatoes, and more tomatoes, and more tomatoes, and more tomatoes, followed by more tomatoes, more tomatoes, more tomatoes, some more weepy basil. It'll be better tomorrow. It's always a bit of a drama queen when it gets whenever it gets transplanted. And this is onions. These are going to go outside this weekend. Gonna plant them out. I think it'll be fine to have them. Again, the more tomatoes. Peppers are coming up. They're looking pretty good. I'm going to have to redo the cayenne. It did not germinate, so that's going to be a restart. But the jalapeno and the poblanos did come up. Guess what? More tomatoes. And then leeks. Lots of leeks there. So things are looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. Like I said, I got to get a few more flowers started, and then we'll be off to the races. So yeah, things are looking pretty good here. With that, again, hopefully I earned your subscription today. Again, I come here live pretty consistently, so hopefully I'll see you on the next stream. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.